Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs classes. I hope you all have performed very well in the IRDAI examination. Wishing you good luck for the further phases. Let's begin with the current affairs of 30 to 31st October. Let's see what do all we have in the news analysis. So we will be covering 30 to 31st October. First category, which is ESI and finance category. Is there. The first news which we have is the dearness allowance, DA, has been hiked, right? So Union Cabinet has approved a 3% increase in dearness allowance, DA, for the central government employees and dearness relief for the pensioners, okay? Pensioners. Now DA, you must be knowing the dearness allowance, you must be knowing whenever DA is high, that shows that you have adjusted their salaries for the inflation. So the basic idea of dearness allowance is adjusting the compensation of the employees, as we call it. Wages or salaries are also known as compensation of employees, right? What do you compensate them for their work? Inflation, when increases, when prices of general goods and services, they increase in the economy, your actual purchasing power gets reduced, right? So government increases the DA, dearness allowance. That gives you a edge over the inflation so that your purchasing power or your real wage does not get reduced. So this is again, that shows that inflation is there in the economy, right? This is again a hike of 3% in the dearness allowance for central government employees and dearness relief for the pensioners. That means the pensioners, the central government pensioners, they will be continuing receiving the pension plus 3% hike on that, right? So this is the thing. After hike, your so it is retroactively effective from 1st July 2024. The new DA will be 53%. So 50% was earlier and then 3% added. This is to compensate for rise in the prices, as I told you. Then again, we have the 8 core industries in the news. Also, if you have revised the previous 3 months current affairs properly, all those who have appeared in the IRDAI phase 1 examination yesterday, you must have noticed we have got a lot of questions from our current affairs, even majority of the questions from the October month, right? So just keep on revising these stuffs. They will be more than sufficient for all your examination. You should always keep this thing in your mind, whichever competitive field you are into, you should never multiply your sources, right? Multiply your revision of the single source. That is going to help you in comprehending the facts and news. So next news we have is, according to a data shared by Ministry of Commerce, India's 8 core sectors output growth has increased by 2% in September 2024. So the 8 core sectors output growth has increased. You must be knowing about the 8 core sector, right? 8 core industries. Tell me. So what all are the 8 core industries? I'm waiting for your responses. Quickly tell me what all are the 8 core industries. 8 core industries, they play a significant role because if you look at the index of industrial production, IIP, the index of industrial production, which gives you the performance of these industrial units, these broad sectors like cement, refinery, natural gas, petroleum, crude, electricity, etc., coal, right? 8 core industries has 40.27 percentage of weightage in the IIP. You should remember this figure always, right? It has been asked in examinations and can be asked further. So 8 core industries production has increased. Previously, if you see, it has fallen, but now increasing. So that is important. And further into this, if you look at the highest record, positive growth, highest record in negative growth. So positive growth has been observed particularly in the sectors of cement, refinery products, coal, fertilizers, and steel. And which industries in these 8 core, they have witnessed the highest growth? So highest growth has been witnessed by cement production. Remember, in cement production. So cement production, It increased by 7.1, okay, previous year. So highest sectoral distribution, if they ask you, highest increase will be in cement production, okay. And negative growth, so crude oil sector, natural gas and electricity mein the growth is negative, that it has the production has declined, right? So this is 8 core industries, as I told you, 40.27% weightage. And then the base year of these industries to compare their output, you should remember base year for 8 core industries is 2011-12. All these indexes like IIP, like CPI, like WPI, like CPI, agriculture, labor, industrial labor, etc., etc. So all these base years are important for all the examinations, right? So remember, 8 core industries, it would be 2011-12, and highest weightage in the 8 core industries has been assigned to petroleum and refinery production. Remember, highest weight among the 8 core itself has been assigned to petroleum and refinery products. So remember, it has increased by 2%. That's why news, that's why it becomes important. Then you have other very interesting investment scheme launched by Geo Financial Services. Geo Financial Services has launched Smart Gold. Smart Gold. This allows you for digital gold purchase. So there's a minimum investment of rupees 10. Now this is very low, right? So ticket size is very low. Now that will include a lot of people. So it is going to expand financial inclusion basically. Doing a 10 rupee investment, starting with a 10 rupee investment is not a big deal in India, right? But that does not mean that you can buy gold with 10 rupees. That is minimum starting of the investment. Minimum amount will be 10 rupees. You can start with that. And after certain limits, like after certain grams you have invested into, you can redeem your money, your invested money, either in the form of cash or in the form of gold, etc. So you can redeem them even into cash. That is a good scheme, right? So this is Smart Gold of Geo Financial Services, and the gold which you are investing is a 24 carat. 24 carat gives you 99.99% of purity, right? We never say 100%, but still 999. So underlying asset 24 carat physical gold equivalent will be there to a customer's investment, and they can redeem these smart gold units for cash or physical gold anytime they wish. But the delivery of physical gold is available for holdings of 0.5 gram and above. You can redeem it for cash or physical gold. But remember, if you want to redeem it into physical gold, that has to be at least 0.5 grams. After that only you can redeem your units, smart gold units, into physical gold. I hope this is clear and above. In the denominations of 0.5 gram, 1 gram, 2 gram, 5 gram, 10 gram, it will be available. Okay. Then we have, according to RBI, the interest rate on Union government's floating rate bond for 2034. That means this is going to have maturity in 2034. The bond is going to mature in 2034. So floating rate bond 2034 for the period October 30, 2024 to 2025 April was set at 7.53 per annum. So this is the interest, 7.53 per annum. Okay. You can just remember this. This is for 2034. Not so much important. Just remember the percentage as depicted here. Then we have NSE. NSE has achieved another milestone, surpassing 20 crore total client accounts in October. So this is important. Remember, NSE has surpassed 20 crore client accounts. 20 crore total client accounts. That means more than 20 crore active trading accounts, right, have been there registered with NSE. So remember, NSE has achieved another significant milestone. This is new, surpassing 20 crore total client accounts in October. Now, if you look at the state-wise distribution into this, that from which state maximum client accounts have been there with NSE. So state-wise distribution has also been provided. Remember, top state is Maharashtra here, okay? Maharashtra. Leading state is Maharashtra. That means maximum client accounts with NSE are coming from Maharashtra, followed by UP, okay? Followed by Uttar Pradesh, then Gujarat, then Rajasthan, and then West Bengal. So remember, there's a state-wise distribution in this. These top 5 states, they are almost holding 50% of the total client accounts with NSE. I hope all of this is clear. Now moving on to the next section, the regulatory bodies news. So in regulatory bodies news, we have one news here from SEBI. SEBI has proposed to set the maximum or say outer limit of 90 days for mutual funds to deploy their funds through a new fund offer. Now remember, this is the recent guideline. Outer limit is 90 days, but then minimum, that is 30 days. So you have 3 windows here, right? 30 days, then 60 days, and this is now 90 days. So generally, these mutual funds, if they are raising funds through a new fund offer is like an IPO for the mutual fund, right? So we have IPO for in the capital market, right? For raising initial funding, initial capital. So like IPO, you have new fund offer with the launch of new MFS schemes, etc. Now, when you are raising fund as a asset management company or mutual fund, you are raising fund via NFO, you have to deploy that. So SEBI has guidelines for that. You have to deploy it up to 30 days, right? Up to 30 days or within 30 days. But in exceptional cases, you can also extend it to 60 days. Now, it has been there that the outer limit would be 90 days. So this is the entire spectrum of the timeline. This is to make the process more transparent, easy, efficient, right? Remember this. So this is the thing, and SEBI also does not allow them to launch another NFO till it deploys the previous fund raised as per the asset allocation mentioned in the scheme information document. So unless you have adhered to this guideline, so from the previous NFO, if you have properly deployed within the stipulated time frame, deployment of funds here means you have deployed the funds raised into the instruments, different investment instruments that can be debt instrument, equity, shares, etc. Wide range of investment instruments. But a new NFO, you can participate only once you have cleared the previous deployment according to the stipulated time frame as I have discussed with you. Okay? Remember. Now, moving on to the banking news. This was only there in the regulatory bodies. In the banking news, we have IndusInd Bank partnering with Tata Power Renewable Energy Limited to facilitate accessible and affordable solar financing. So basically, this is for solar financing for micro and small enterprises, providing them finances for deploying solar power capacity. Okay, this alliance will provide these micro and small enterprises with collateral free solar financing. Though this is going to be collateral free, you don't have to mortgage anything against the loan. Okay, and the loan range is quite good, that is 10 lakh to 2 crores. This will be the range. And one important feature you can remember here is, under this there will be a 20% margin. 20% margin would mean that if you are a borrower under this, say you are one of the MSEs, 20% of the total loan amount, okay, say if the total loan amount is 1 lakh, so 20,000 you have to deploy by yourself, and then 80% will be given by the authority or the entity. Okay, so 20% margin will be there, and it will be coming up with the competitive interest rates, and the term will be up to 7 years. You can remember this. So this is again an initiative in terms of sustainable development or shift towards renewable energy based power generation. Okay, Tata Power Renewables, if you see, is committed to accelerate path of India's net zero emission by 2070. So you can also remember this target. Tata Power Renewables is also committed to our overall target of having a net zero emission by 2070. Okay. Then we have Geo Payment Solutions Limited. Geo Payment Solutions Limited, which is a subsidiary of Geo Financial Services. It has received approval from RBI to perform or to work as an online payment aggregator. Online payment aggregator, it will be facilitating a lot of online transactions now, right? So it will be providing you online transaction facilities, and it has been effective from 28th October, remember. Now it will be handling digital transactions, and remember, this is in compliance with what? So this online payment aggregator license is in compliance with Section 7 of your Payment and Settlement System Act 2007. So remember, Section 7 of Payment and Settlement Act 2007. So 7 you will be able to remember. It will be easy for you to remember. Section 7, and Act is also 7. Then we have CSB Bank. CSB Bank. CSB Bank has launched its new loan offering for SMEs. Again, so it has launched a new loan for the small and micro enterprises, the SME Turbo Loan. SME Turbo Loan by CSB Bank. This is to provide quick in-principle sanction of loan up to 5 crores. So particularly for providing loan of financial assistance to the SMEs, basically small and micro enterprises, loan amount is going to be up to 5 crores. But remember, this is in principle sanction, quick but in principle sanction. That would mean, when we say that there's in principle sanction, that means you are allowing a certain part of the loan to be disbursed quickly, but then further amount would depend on further verification, document verification, etc. Okay, this is in principle sanction of credit. Depending on their digital scorecards, the loan will be sanctioned. So it will fasten the process of credit extension to these industries. So it will provide them with easy access to credit and funds so that they can develop their industrial and production activities. Okay. Then further we have Equitas, a small finance bank. It has launched self loans. Equitas, a small finance bank, remember, has launched self loans to recognize financial needs of small businesses. This is also recognizing the financial needs of the small businesses particularly. What is the feature? So it is going to provide secured loans without income proof. The loans will be secured. You will not be able to, you will not be required to provide income proof. And that would include even loans against your property, home loans, merchant overdraft, new and used car, commercial vehicle loans, etc. Wide range of products they are offering. They are also planning to introduce loans for salaried professionals. Okay? So this is going to be there where you don't have to provide any income proof, etc. for small businesses. Then we have Navi FinServ. Navi, you all must have heard about Navi. So again, Navi FinServ, which is a Bangalore-based fintech, it has received approval from RBI to make scheduled home loan disbursal sanctioned before October 20. So home loan disbursals will be allowed until 31st December 2024. Whatever scheduled home loan disbursals were there, it is allowed to engage in them, to approve them, but only up to 31st December 2024. So this is not so much important, but you can just remember this news that Navi FinServ has received this permission from RBI. Then we have news coming from another fintech firm, Cash Free Payments. These Cash Free Payments, it has received regulatory approval to operate as a prepaid payment instrument provider. That means it will issue prepaid payment instruments like your cards, like digital wallets. So it can issue cards, okay, digital wallets, etc. So cash-free payments has now joined this list of PPI providers in India, which has now scored to 46. So if you look at all these prepaid payment instrument providers into India, when cash-free payment has received this regulatory approval, so the entire list comes out to be 46 such providers are there. 46 such providers will be there. It will be issuing your cards and digital wallets. Then we have something coming from your Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India has now mandated the auction process of liquid assets to be conducted through a centralized electronic platform. Now what happens is, to understand this news, you must be knowing about the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC 2016. IBC primarily was introduced to subsume all other small schemes and initiatives, schemes of central government, initiatives by RBI, which stressed upon these stressed assets. Right? So the NPA, particularly these stressed assets. If say companies are going into bankruptcy and insolvency like situations, so it provides a mechanism of dealing with such stressed assets. Stressed assets, you all know, non-performing assets or non-performing loans, right? So Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 sets out these guidelines, in which primarily, if you see, there are two institutions, the DRT and the NCLT. Okay, the DRT and the NCLT. DRT is the Debt Recovery Tribunal and NCLT is National Company Law Tribunal. DRT primarily deals with Debt Recovery Tribunal primarily deals with the individual cases of stressed assets, insolvency, bankruptcy of individuals, of banks, of other financial companies, institutions, etc. Companies primarily, or corporations, cases of corporations, insolvency and bankruptcy cases of corporations, they are dealt with National Company Law Tribunal. Okay. And the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India oversees that all these provisions under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code are effectively implemented or not. I hope this is clear, right? So the auction of the liquid assets, what companies do is, you have SARFAESI Act for that, right? SARFAESI Act, Securitization and Reconstruction of Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act. So SARFAESI provides for your asset reconstruction companies, ARCs. We have discussed this thing. Now these asset reconstruction companies, they buy these stressed assets and then try to recover them. Say by auctioning the mortgage, whatever you have provided as collateral against those loans, they get auctioned to recover, liquidate some part of it. So now what is mandated by Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India is that this auction process, when you say are auctioning the mortgaged assets, the collateral, has to be done on an electronic platform. This is the news. Okay, it has to be done on an electronic platform. I hope you have understood this news. This is to maximize the liquidation value of a stressed asset, to get the better price, right, under the insolvency law, and enhance recovery for creditors as well. Both the benefits will be there. So the IBPSC platform will be used for this purpose. Remember, IBPSC platform will be used, which is owned and managed by your PSB Alliance Private Limited. Which is PSB Alliance Private Limited, if you see, is a consortium of 12 public sector banks. 12 public sector banks. IBPSC has been engaged in this kind of activity, conducting auctions for assets mortgaged to public sector banks under the SARFAESI Act for past 5 years, as I told you. So SARFAESI Act provides for these asset reconstruction companies. They buy these loans from the bad loans from the banks, and then they try to restructure it and liquidate them. Okay. So remember, IBPSC platform will be utilized, and this circular will be effective from 1st November 2024. So it has started, right? So effective from 1st November 2024. Remember this thing, this is going to be important. eBikrate platform. I hope this is clear. Then we have a small news here. Infosys subsidiary, which is Finacle, it has launched the Finacle Data and AI Suite. Finacle Data and AI Suite. Now this is going to do what? It is going to provide a platform with various options which can be utilized, facilities which can be utilized by banks to integrate artificial intelligence with their operations. Right? Then moving on to the national and state news. In the national news, we have Prime Minister hailing Raigad Fort as remarkable legacy, strategic genius, and leadership of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Now, what you have to remember is why this Raigad Fort is in news. Raigad Fort is in news because it has been selected as the theme of 2024 Rashtriya Ekta Divas. Raigad has been chosen as the theme of Rashtriya Ekta Divas, 31st October, marking the contribution, celebrating the contribution of Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, right? So, the Rashtriya Ekta Divas National Unity Day, 31st October theme 2024, Raigad has been chosen for that. Now, Raigad Fort, if you see, is there in Raigad, Maharashtra. It is a part of 12 forts nominated for UNESCO World Heritage Site under the title Maratha Military Landscape of India. Raigad Fort used to be the capital as well of the Maratha Empire under the leadership of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay. So remember that. Also, a replica of this Raigad Fort, it has been made as at the replica has been there at okay, so replica has been made as backdrop at the venue of Rashtriya Ekta Divas, which is Kevadia, Gujarat. So Kevadia, Gujarat is going to be the venue. Remember, Kevadia, Gujarat is going to be the venue for Rashtriya Ekta Divas Parade 2024, and there a replica of this Raigad Fort is going to be there. So remember this thing, going to be important. Theme for 2024 Rashtriya Ekta Divas Raigad, and that's why Raigad Fort is also in news. Then you have Raksha Mantri has virtually dedicated to the nation Desh Ka Vallabh statue. Desh Ka Vallabh statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Major Rellingnow Bob Kating, prominent. Now, this personality is a very celebrated Indian soldier, civil servant and diplomat, particularly known to be the first tribal ambassador from India. Remember this name, okay? First tribal ambassador from India. First tribal person of tribal origin to serve as ambassador for India. So one is Vallabh statue or Desh Ka Vallabh statue, and the other thing which has been dedicated is a museum of valor dedicated to Major Rellingnow. Museum of Valor at Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh dedicated to Major Rellingnow. Remember these two names. Then we have electronics grade boron 11, electronics grade boron 11 or B11 enrichment facility at the heavy water board facilities has been inaugurated in Talcher, Odisha. Now, what is the significance of this? It basically is used in your manufacturing of semiconductor chips. Okay, this is used for BF3 gas production, which is then used in the semiconductor chips. So you need not go into so much of technicalities of this. What is the BF3 and what is this electronic grade boron 11 enrichment facility? You just remember that this is used, first of all, remember the location, Talcher, Odisha. Then remember it is used for production of BF3 gas, which is further used in semiconductor industry. And as I have discussed with you number of times, semiconductor industry is the industry of future. It has applications in almost every industry. Name it, you have it. So either automotive, either pharmaceutical, either defense, either electronics, etc., etc. And you see Tata is also expanding their operations in the semiconductor sphere. So that's why this news becomes important. Okay. Then you have National Internet Exchange of India. National Internet Exchange of India. It has inaugurated its new office at the World Trade Center in Nauroji Nagar, New Delhi. World Trade Center in Nauroji Nagar, New Delhi. About NIXI, if you see, National Internet Exchange of India, it is a not-for-profit. So Section 8 company, not-for-profit. Okay, Section 8 company, remember, under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY. Why it was established? The primary aim of establishing this NIXI was to increase internet penetration in India, to increase the internet penetration and then internet adoption in India by facilitating various infrastructure aspects. So it basically trying to manage the internet infrastructure. It is trying to foster internet infrastructure within India. Okay. And it tries to route the internet traffic within Indian channels only. So reducing the reliance of international channels for rerouting or routing the internet traffic. Now that also leads to reduction in, say, bandwidth costs associated with using international routes. So going simply in layman language, you can understand that it tries to expand the internet ecosystem, infrastructure ecosystem in India. Okay. I hope this is clear. Then we have Union Minister of State for Environment has led a plantation drive under the framework of in the University of Valle in Colombia. Okay, on the sidelines of 16th meeting of the Conference of Parties COP16 to the UN Convention on Biological Diversity. If you look at this campaign, Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam was launched on World Environment Day 5th June 2024 by Prime Minister. So remember, this campaign is very important. It was launched on the occasion of World Environment Day, that is 5th June 2024 by Prime Minister. Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, hashtag plant for the mother. Then we have NTPC Energy Technology Research Analysis. NETRA, the NTPC Energy Technology Research Analysis, which is a research and R&D wing of NTPC, It has developed indigenous catalyst for hydrogenation of CO2 into methanol. It has developed indigenous catalyst for hydrogenation of carbon dioxide to methanol in collaboration with Indian Institute of Petroleum, Dehradun. Remember, this is important. Why? Because this catalyst will be utilized for hydrogenation of CO2 into methanol. Now, it has a lot of benefits. First thing, it will help us in achieving the net zero target by reducing the available carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, right? So it will reduce the impact of the greenhouse gas, which is carbon dioxide. Remember, okay, first thing, because they will be utilizing this carbon dioxide to convert it into methanol. Now, when methanol will be produced, so methanol will be used as a renewable source. So it will create an alternative of the fossil fuel usage. So it will reduce the reliance on fossil fuels as well. A lot of benefits are going to be there like this. Okay. So just remember this, and it has launched this catalyst in collaboration with Indian Institute of Petroleum, Dehradun. Then we have Nai Chetna 3.0. Nai Chetna 3.0. Nai Chetna 3.0. The third edition of this national campaign against gender-based violence. It is going to be launched on November 25th, okay, and conclude on December 23. This is addressing the gender-based violence particularly. Remember, it is going to be there, launched on November 25th. Then we have Union Home Minister of Cooperation Amit Shah has flagged of Run for Unity organized in New Delhi. Run for Unity, okay, as a part of the National Unity Day, 31st October, celebrating birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Then we have again Union Home Minister has launched a mobile application for seamless and hassle-free registration of birth and death at click of a button. So you know, death registration, birth registration used to be a tedious process in India. Government is also trying to simplify it further. For this, Union Home Minister has launched a mobile application which will make it very easy to have birth registration, death registration just at a click of the button. Okay. And remember who has prepared this. So it has been prepared by Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India. Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India. Then you have Suzuki Motor Corporation is going to supply its first battery electric vehicle to Toyota Motor Corporation. Developed by Suzuki and developed in Gujarat. This is the first vehicle developed under their original equipment manufacturer partnership between Suzuki and Toyota. So it is result of their partnership between Suzuki and Toyota. You can remember this much only is sufficient. Now moving on to the state news. So first we have former Union Minister RRB Singh has launched a political party known as ASA, Aap Sabki Awaaz. You can remember this political party is newly created, Aap Sabki Awaaz or ASA. Then we have an important news here. You have Andhi, which is a remote village located 43 kilometers off from Jaipur, the capital of Rajasthan. Andhi is transforming itself into a zero waste model. So this place is in news because it is in a process of transforming itself into a zero waste model. That is going to be significant and going to be an example for rest of the country, right? So zero waste model with the help of green technology interventions. Now what all are these interventions? What are the steps taken to achieve this zero waste model? Let's see. So there will be total demonstration plants. 3 plants will be there at government school. 1 organic waste biomethanation plant will be there, which is going to convert organic waste into biogas through anaerobic process, right? So remember, government school mein there will be 1 organic waste biomethanation plant. Then you will have vermi filtration technology at a community health center over there. Vermi filtration technology. Now what this vermi filtration technology will do, vermi filtration technology basically utilizes the potential of earthworms to filter out the wastewater. So the wastewater particularly is passed through a lot of filters which have a lot of population of earthworms. They are known to filter, right? So this is the thing. Purifying grey water and sewage water, as I told you. And then constructed wetlands at main pond. So constructing wetlands also there. Wetland is a huge ecosystem. Wetland has a lot of functions to perform. It filters the pollutants. Okay, so wetlands are also known as kidneys. Like we have kidneys in the human body. What is the primary function of kidneys? To filter out the blood, right? So wetlands also filter. They are known for their filtration capacities. So this is going to be there. These interventions are going to be there. Then we have Karnataka government launching 2 flagship programs, the Elevate 2024 and Karnataka Acceleration Network. What are these? They are primarily aiming to help early stage startups in their overall performance and growth. Elevate 2024, if you see, is a seed funding scheme. Seed funding scheme basically means you will be assisting these startups in their primary early stages, very early stages of growth. Early age startups in the state where they will be providing grants. So this is a grant, grant is something which is unilateral payment. That means grant is not a liability, right? It is a transfer payment. You don't have to pay it back. A grant of up to 50 lakh per startup will be provided. So this is going to expand the startup ecosystem in state of Karnataka. That is huge announcement. Then you have the KEN, or the Karnataka Acceleration Network. KEN will provide mentorship, market access and funding opportunities for the growth stage startups, which are there in the growth stage. They will be providing mentorship, market access, etc. I hope this is clear. Remember, so Elevate 2024 and KEN. Then coming on to the international news segment. In international news, you have Lulu Wali Diwali, right? So I know the name is quite unique, but then it is easy to remember. You have Lulu Wali Diwali. What is this? It is festivities launched at Lulu Hypermarket in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This event, it was attended by a lot of dignitaries and even Indian diaspora. The Indian residents residing all over the world. Highlight of the celebration was a special stall featuring apples from Ladakh. So now the name of these apples that becomes important. Remember, Karkichu apples. So there was a special stall which has highlighted apple coming from Ladakh. So you remember this name, Karkichu apples coming from Ladakh. Okay. For the first time, they have been showcased in Saudi Arabia. Then we have Nepal. Nepal has earned 4.75 billion Nepali rupees from carbon trading. This is in news. So carbon trading, what is carbon trading? Although we have discussed this thing a lot of times, but let me explain it again to you. Carbon trading basically utilizes the carbon permits. This way, you can also restrict your carbon emissions and you can earn if you have underutilized the carbon permit. So we have a diagram here. Say this is enterprise A. I hope this is the diagram is visible, right? Enterprise A, and we have enterprise B. This is the emissions cap. This is the emissions cap. That means you are allowed to emit up to this much. Now this enterprise A has used permits only up to this much. So this much is remaining. Say, right? It has not entirely emitted up to the limit permitted, right? Now this extra it can sell to enterprise B, because enterprise B needs this much extra permit beyond the permitted limit. It has a lot of production, might be involved in carbon emission, right? So what this enterprise A can do is, enterprise A can sell this permit to it and can earn, and this gets this permit, so can enhance its production and breach the permit limit. This is how carbon trading works, okay? So Nepal via this process has earned a lot of Nepali rupee. Then you have Asian Development Bank launching a new action plan to enhance its disaster resilience efforts in Asian Pacific region. So Asian Development Bank has given out its new plan, which is Disaster Risk Management Action Plan for 2024 to 2030 in Asian Pacific region. Okay, it is going to support developing countries in mitigating the impact of these disasters. Now, why this is there? Because the sources have stipulated, if you look at this thing, United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, it has warned that disasters in Asia Pacific region, they are projected to increase by 40% by 2030. So by 2030, natural disasters in this Asia Pacific region, they are expected to increase by 47. You can assess how much severity of these disasters can be there. So we need to mitigate them. We have to be prepared for them in order to reduce the humanitarian loss to humanity, economic losses, etc. Because you cannot prevent the disaster, you can only mitigate it. Okay, so that is the thing. That's why this plan is there. Then we have next thing, Typhoon Kongre is in news. Remember, Typhoon Kongre, it has made its landfall in the eastern Taiwan. Okay, and it has remained strong. So in the category 4 hurricane it is there. Category 4 hurricane means it is a major hurricane and has a lot of catastrophic consequences. Then again you have something very important, which is world's first artificial energy island. Remember, world's first artificial energy island, which is named after Belgium Princess Elizabeth. So the Belgium Princess Elizabeth, after her name, world's first artificial energy island is there. Okay, which is a flagship project of Elia Group, is going to serve as an electricity hub in Belgium. It is 45 kilometers offshore the Belgian coast, in North Sea. Now this project, if you see, was launched in 2021. Why is this important? Now first you need to understand what is artificial energy island. If it is world's first artificial energy island, what is artificial energy island? Artificial energy island means, first it is artificial island. That means it is created by man. So it is man-made island. But then energy island would mean that it is created for particularly as a hub for energy generation, deployment, distribution, etc. It will be supplying electricity to Belgium. Also, primarily the renewable sources are used. This makes it more significant. Okay? So 10% of Belgium's energy supply will be coming from these sources. Just remember this thing, Belgium. So it is associated with your Belgium. Okay, world's first artificial energy island. Other things are not so much important. Just remember the location. And then this was about the national and state news. Now moving on to the MOUs and mergers section. In MOUs and mergers, we have Tata Consultancy Services. TCS has signed 15-year contract. 15-year contract with Department of Social Protection in Ireland. Now this is new enrollment, auto enrollment retirement saving scheme, My Future Fund. Ireland's new retirement saving scheme, My Future Fund, it is there. So Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, is going to provide the digital solutions for this to Ireland. Remember, also becomes important. So TCS has tied up with Ireland. 15-year contract is there with the Department of Social Protection Ireland for their My Future Fund, which is retirement savings scheme. TCS is going to provide them with the digital solutions. And TCS therefore is going to use its TCS Banks platform to enable the enrollment, record management and benefit of this disbursement system. Then we have Geo Financial Services and BlackRock Inc. They have joined hands to undertake mutual fund business. Now accordingly, as a result of it, the joint venture companies, they will be incorporated pursuant to the in principle approval received by Geo Financial Service and BlackRock Financial Management Inc. to act as co-sponsors and set up the proposed mutual fund. They will be the co-sponsors and they will be setting up a mutual fund in collaboration with each other. Remember. Then this is something we have already covered. Fortis Healthcare's proposal to acquire additional 31.52% stake in Agilus Diagnostics has been approved by your CCI, Competition Commission of India. We have covered this news earlier, I think in last class or last to last class only. Okay. Then we have JSW Group, the Indian steel company, JSW Group, and POSCO, which is South Korean steel manufacturer. They have signed an agreement to collaborate on steel making, EV batteries and renewable energy projects. So they have collaborated for the production of these items. Then again we have TCS partnering with INSPER, which is leading Brazilian higher education institution to accelerate technological innovation across South America. So TCS has partnered with Brazilian higher education institution INSPER. This is going to provide digital solutions to them to accelerate the innovation and digitization of South American education system. This is a 10-year collaboration. They will be using these solutions like AI, generative AI, IoT and special computing technologies. Then Uttarakhand government has signed an MOU with Indo-Tibetan Border Police, ITBP. Uttarakhand government has signed an MOU with ITBP They will be providing them with live goats, sheep, chicken and fish to meet their food requirements basically after this MOU. And the animal keepers in Uttarakhand will get a marketing platform via this. Now moving on to the science tech and defense section. So in science tech, we first have China successfully launching its spaceship. Name of the spaceship is Shenzhou 19. So this is in news, Shenzhou 19. It is on a 6-month mission to the low orbiting spaces, to its low orbiting space station. And remember, it has been launched from Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China. And remember, China's space station, you can remember this fact here, others are not so important. China's space station is currently the only one in the orbit not part of the International Space Station Consortium. India's space station not yet there, right? So we have International Space Station Consortium, which is a collaboration for International Space Station between your space agencies of countries like USA. So you have NASA, you have JAXA, you have Canadian Space Agency, you have European Space Agency, etc. India is not there still. And China's space station is the only one orbiting over there, which is not part of this consortium, remember. Okay. So this was in news. Then in defense, we have Democratic People's Republic of Korea has test fired an intercontinental ballistic missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile. That means it can cross continents, right? It has a range over continents and is a ballistic missile. I have told you a number of times what is the trajectory of ballistic missile. If you don't remember and understand the technicalities, just remember this diagram. A cruise missile goes like this and straight, and a ballistic missile goes like this. Okay, so this is intercontinental ballistic missile. Then we have 31st edition of Singapore India Maritime Bilateral Exercise, SIMBEX. SIMBEX ka 31st edition from 23rd to 29th October it was organized. Remember the location. So it has been organized in 2 phases. The harbor phase was organized in Visakhapatnam and the sea phase was organized in the Bay of Bengal. Now moving on to indices and rankings. So according to the latest Hurun China Rich List 2024, Hurun China Rich List 2024, Zhang Yiming, the founder of ByteDance, has claimed to the top spot as China's richest person. So this person, Zhang Yiming, is China's richest person. And Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk led the world's billionaire list. Okay, world's billionaire list according to this Hurun list. Then further reports, if we see, so riding the justice route report published by Greenpeace India says that 75% of women feel unsafe commuting in Delhi buses. So it is they do not feel safe while commuting through the Delhi government's buses. Although they have also highlighted that 75% of the surveyed women, they have witnessed significant savings for them with the pink ticket scheme. The pink ticket scheme, you must be knowing, of the Delhi government is that women traveling via the Delhi government buses do not require to pay for the ticket. Although if they wish to pay, they can do, of course. Okay, so it has helped them in saving a lot of money. Then we have World Gold Council. According to World Gold Council, global total gold demand has risen. It is rising by 5%. Okay, so gold demand is rising. Now what you can infer it from here is it is better to invest in gold, right? Gold demand, you see, will always be rising. So the best investment options you have is gold. You don't have any chance of loss. Okay. Now moving on to awards and books. So you have Kendriya Gray Mantri Dakshata Padak has been awarded to 463 personnels for their from various states and UTs. Okay, this is for recognition of their excellent work and promoting high professional standards, and it also boosts the morale of these officers in the field of special operations, investigations, intelligence, forensic science. So this is from coming, this has been awarded to the personnel from your CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces, and Central Police Organizations for 2024. Kendriya Griha Mantri Dakshata Padak, remember. Now these awards, if you see, were instituted by MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs, into 2024 only, and they were felicitated on 31st October. They are felicitated on 31st October. Every year they will be on the occasion of, again, birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So on the National Unity Day. Then you have Wagh Bakri Tea Group. Many of you might have used this brand, Wagh Bakri Tea, right? So Wagh Bakri Tea Group has been honored with prestigious Generational Legacy Award for outstanding contribution to Indian economy. Remember, Generational Legacy Award for outstanding contribution to Indian economy by Hurun India. Okay. Then you have All India Football Federation was conferred with the prestigious AFC President's Recognition Award for grassroots football during the annual awards 2023 in Seoul, South Korea. Now, what is this grassroots football? So, All India Football Federation has been awarded with this prestigious President's Recognition Award for grassroots football. Grassroots football basically is starting football from the basic level, enhancing the engagement of youth and various strata of the society. Then you have DBS Bank India has been recognized as one of the best companies for women in India 2024 for the 9th successive year. Earlier also, since before this is the 9th successive year it has been awarded as best company for women. Remember, DBS Bank India. Okay, it has featured in the best companies hall of fame. Then you have Francis Ford Coppola, which is American film director, will be the 50th recipient of AFI Life Achievement Award, okay, which is America's highest honor for a career in film. So 50th recipient of AFI Life Achievement Award, Francis Ford from America. Then you have Sonwin Min was crowned as Asia's International Player of the Year for the 4th time. Asia's International Player of the Year, remember. International Player of the Year for the 4th time by Asian Football Confederation. So, football player from South Korea, okay. So, Sonwin Min, remember. Now, moving on to sports, we have India secured the runner-up position in the overall team standings at 2024 Asian Arm Wrestling Cup, hosted by Aurika Sky City in Mumbai. Now, this 2024 Asian Arm Wrestling Cup, India has finished at runner-up position, but then this was stopped by Kazakhstan. So, which country has stopped this? Kazakhstan, remember. Total medal tally, if you look for India in this, was 223, which includes 63 golds, 100 silver medals, and 60 bronze. 9 nations competed in this across 6 categories, which is para masters, sub junior, junior, youth, senior, and various weight divisions. So remember, 9 nations participated. Topped by Kazakhstan, India finished at runner-up place. Then you have 2025 Tour de France. 2025 Tour de France, which is a cycling tournament, will be raced exclusively in France for the first time since 2020 COVID edition. So this is a cycling tournament, right? It is going to be there after COVID edition. First time after COVID edition. That's why it becomes important, going to be there in France. Okay. So after France, you see, it is to happen in Copenhagen, in Bilbao, in Florence, in Grand Depart in Lille in France. So this 25th is going to be there in France. You just remember 2025, France is going to organize it. Now it assumes significance because it is happening after its COVID edition. Okay? First time in France. After COVID edition, France may first time it is happening. Remember, so 2025, 2-day France. Nothing more is important. Last news in the sports category, we have South Africa's Kagiso Rabada has leapfrogged over India's Jasprit Bumrah and has replaced him. So remember, Rabada has replaced Bumrah as the #1 test bowler in the new ICC rankings. This can be important. So Rabada has replaced Bumrah at as the #1 test bowler in new ICC rankings. Then coming to appointments, so you have Lebanon-based militant organization Hezbollah has named Deputy Secretary General Naim Qasim as its new head. Then we have Sumati Dharamvardena has been appointed as new independent chair of ICC Anti-Corruption Unit. ICC Anti-Corruption Unit ensures that there are no corruption cases and activities in the international cricket tournaments. Okay. Then you have Kestrel India. Kestrel India is engaged in the production of industrial oils, automotive oils, greasing oils, etc. So Kestrel India has appointed Kedar Lele as a new MD. Then we have Keshav Chandra. Keshav Chandra, 1995 batch IS officer, has been appointed as the next chairman of the New Delhi Municipal Council. So Keshav Chandra will be next chairman of New Delhi Municipal Council. Then moving on to conferences. So we have 8th edition, remember 8th edition of Future Investment held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So it was held from 29th to 31st October. Theme, if you look at, theme was Infinite Horizons, Investing Today, Shaping Tomorrow. This was the theme, where Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal also participated. And remember, in 23-24, Saudi Arabia has been ranked as India's 5th largest trade partner. Remember, in 23-24, Saudi Arabia has ranked as India's 5th largest trade partner. Because Saudi Arabia is in news, so these kind of data, they become important. So 8th edition of Future Investment held in Saudi Arabia, theme was Infinite Horizons. Then Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh will inaugurate the international 52nd annual conference of the Research Society for Study of Diabetes in India. Okay, so from 14 November to 17 November it is to be there. It is scheduled to be there. Location will be Dwarka, New Delhi. Remember, 52nd such conference in New Delhi. Obituaries mein we have TP Gopalan Nambiar, visionary founder of the BPL group, has passed away. BPL group. Then we have important days. So again, National Unity Day. We have done this National Unity Day so many times that now you must have mugged this up, that 31st October is celebrated as National Unity Day, celebrating the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay. And you know, he has been an important figure in India's struggle for independence, and first Deputy Prime Minister of the country and Home Minister of the country, also known as the Iron Man of India, Loh Purush. Has also contributed in unification of India after independence, right? Unification, by unification I mean has persuaded a lot of princely states to join. Yeah. Then you have World Stroke Day 2024. So World Stroke Day is observed every year on 29th October to raise awareness about the severity of strokes, their prevention and treatment. So remember what has been the theme for 2024 World Stroke Day? Hashtag greater than stroke. Hashtag greater than stroke. Then we have World Savings Day. World Savings Day also celebrated on 31st October, which reminds everyone to evaluate how you are spending, how you are saving, how much is your spending and saving. Okay. Now internationally, you see it is celebrated on 31st October, but remember India celebrates this on 30th October. India celebrates the World Savings Day on 30th October. World level pay, it is celebrated on 31st October. So that was about the current affairs from 30th to 31st October. I hope you have understood all these concepts and keep on revising. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a great day. Thank you so much.